What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hoopz Junkiez Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus. We got my brother AB right here. Say what up, AB.
What up, what up, what up?
And y'all know what it is. We got my other brother, our favorite hater from the Golden State. Hot Take Jay. What's happening, baby?
What up?
Loving it. I love the Rockets red you got on right now. You know,
bro.
Yeah.
It ain't even that segment, but I know you was
quite-
hating on these, though.
quite right.
You didn't even ask last time. You didn't even ask. You said go get ready for the shoes.
I was
Got
trying.
cons, baby. What do you know about these?
I was so
What do you know
used to
about
looking
these?
at your feet when I asked about the shoes. I just figured I'd give you a rest on it. So, but since we gonna do it, what you got on your feet, AB? I got the Nike Air Max right here. What you got on your feet, AB?
Same regulars.
Same regular.
The Asics.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
That's
my pops used to
something.
roll with those back in the day.
There you go. I want to give me some Aces. They better than them desert boots you've been wearing.
Hey, I had to take Adrian out on the track to go do some work. So they
But,
light on the feet.
Hey,
They like.
before we get too deep into this podcast, if you listen to the podcast right now and you enjoy watching Hoopz Junkiez, go ahead and drop kick that subscribe button and go ahead and smash the like button and turn on the notification bell so when we drop one of these, y'all can see it. And I've been meaning to ask y'all, you know, y'all got these nicknames, AB, the truth, or so you say, the hot take J. I don't have a nickname. Y'all got to come up for me a nickname, man.
Okay, we will ponder that. Something to do with
Yeah.
something to do with that 5 head you got
Thinking
going
about
on.
something.
Hey, don't even
I
try,
know.
brother.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going in the same thing.
What I do want you to notice is check out them waves. Yeah, they.
Hey, did you watch The Wire?
I did watch The Wire. I like that.
You remember Poot?
What? Who?
Poot, Brody's homeboy.
Yeah. I remember.
Brody's homeboy with the big ass forehead. Excuse my language. You know,
Man.
you
Don't
got
even
the same
try it.
forehead as Poot.
Don't even try it, man. You know that just means that you got some strong genes. So
Hey man, listen here. Michael B. Jordan got the lips. Marcus got the forehead.
and you got the glasses,
The 5 head.
looking like Bunsen and Beaker. When his laptop light shine in his glasses, you can't see his eyes. He look like a puppet baby. But hey, man, let's get into it. We got a couple things we want to talk about tonight. The first being my favorite subject, AB favorite subject, the subject that Jay like to hate on, the Houston Rockets. We about to talk about them, man. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the Rockets on this podcast episode is because they're on a little run right now, and from the looks of it tonight, they look like they about to go six.
They about to extend it.
They about to extend it on the OKC. So I just wanted to talk about them because I think it's worth it. They're such a dramatically different team from what they were when James Harden was on the team that they're actually fun to watch.
It's refreshing, ain't it?
It's refreshing. Is also encouraging because I thought that when James Harden left the team that we were going to probably have like a slump for a little bit. Number one, we got a new coach. We got a new GM. We got all new players. I think the only players that's on that team that I would consider OGs is PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon. You know, Daniel House could be considered an OG. I think this is third.
Nah, he not an OG.
So,
He not
you
an
guys,
OG.
so Aaron, too, what I would, this is maybe an opportune time to kind of drive home a point that I was trying to make a while back, which was you guys did all this, more so the hours me and Aaron spent talking about James Harden and him dragging teams to the playoff and his gaudy numbers. And they were to be commended. He's a tank and he's durable, like top 5, probably most durable players of all time, just coming in, getting buckets and doing what he do. But what is overshadowed, and I'll get to my point, is that when you have a player where he is the sun and everything else orbits around it, it neuters young talent. It's he's always got to eat 80% of the pie. And when there's a void left, now there's opportunity. We get past Christian Wood, we get to Mason Jones, now you got Kevin Porter Jr. There's just room. And now, John Wall may go from a negative at $40 million, worst contract in the NBA, to, well, maybe he can at least earn 25 of it. And it's just a new vibe. There's just a new aura when you turn on the game. And it's not to understate what James Harden did, but he wasn't the end all be all.
Hey, listen here, man. So I'm not gonna make this into a bash James. My feelings on James Harden is still exactly the same as they was. I understand the position he was in. At this point, it's literally only about championship for him. And every year he don't win it is, that window gets smaller, so I'm not gonna bash, right? So, but this team reminds me of the team that James initially came to when he first got to Houston. And what I mean by that is you have multiple playmakers, multiple guys that are comfortable putting the ball on the ground, putting the ball on the floor and making a play, whether it's for themselves or whether it's for someone else. And I don't know exactly when it switched, and I want to say it may be around the time that Chandler Parsons left, if anybody remembers him, right? Mm-hmm. When he walked out the door, it seemed like they kind of switched that dynamic up to having more guys that were comfortable being playmakers and making plays to going to guys that can, just cover for James on defense, because he couldn't play D for about 2-3 years there. He wasn't playing on D. So let's just get the Patrick Beverleys. Let's get the Trevor Ariza's, let's get the PJ Tuckers, let's get these guys that cover for him where he's weak, and you sacrifice other parts of the game. And yeah, they can shoot, they'll shoot 38 to 40% wide open, but they can't do this. They can't go out and make plays. It's just fun to watch having multiple guys. I'm talking about John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Eric Gordon, Daniel House. All these guys can go out there and make plays. Jayshawn Tate. And I don't even want to get into Christian Wood. Man, Christian Wood he looked more comfortable putting the ball on the ground and making a play than Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. He looks more natural doing it.
Wasn't it like a light switch though? Like after James wasn't on the team, it was like, yeah, he came out the year and he was hitting a couple threes and he was showing you flashes. I haven't watched the last 3 games, so I'm gonna defer to you on this one. But I've probably watched about 20 minutes of game time since James Harden has left, where Christian Wood, because I think he missed a couple of games that I was tuning into, and all of a sudden it just looked like, nope, I'm the HNIC over here, playa, and it's my world.
I think it was more of them trying to figure out how to fit around James Harden. When James Harden, when he was on the team, it looked to me like he was trying to turn Christian Wood into a Clint Capella, to where he was utilizing him like he utilized Clint Capella. The big difference with this guy is he can get his own buckets from anywhere on the floor, inside, mid-range, 3-pointers, you name it, and he can bring the ball up the court pretty effectively. So listen to these numbers. 23.6 points per game, 10.7 rebounds a game, 1.2 assists. To me, that's...
What is his blocks?
I'm not seeing what his blocks are per game.
He averaged just shy of 2 blocks a game.
That's like all-star. To me, that's all-star numbers.
That's Anthony Davis numbers.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And the only And he's only doing it, and I think he averages like 12, 13 shots a game. What happens when he's doing it?
He's doing it efficiently. He's doing it efficiently too. I see the Houston Rockets kind of centering the offense around Christian Wood some.
Well, they need to.
It looks to me like he's the first option. And then after that, You know, it's spread out. That's what I've been seeing. But he's gonna get
he's the first option, but it's more equal opportunity. So it's because he gets his so much in the flow. You can't really lock in on and focus and be like, well, we're gonna take Christian Wood away because the ball is moving and like I said, all these guys are comfortable putting the ball on the ground. Jayshawn Tate is like PJ Tucker that can put the ball on the ground, right? So he's going to give you the strength, and he can go down there and bang. They want him to play as a power forward or small forward. They even play him at small ball center, but he can go down there and bang. But he's got the ball handling abilities of a wing, that can put the ball on the ground. And if you play him wrong, he blows by you. So it's hard to just say, hey, we're going to go here and put all these resources in stopping Christian Wood because John Wall's beating you, Oladipo's beating you. And again, like you said, Christian Wood also not just on the block. It's not just a lob threat.
So again,
so you can't. Where do you focus in on him at?
Here's the why is this possible? And I don't want to make this as an I told you so, but when we talk the secondary, tertiary effects of James not moving without the ball and being so James centric, like you're talking about the things that all I was thinking about when we talk about James Harden and how dominant he was and how much stats he put up is opportunity cost and what he's taken away. And you are talking about all of this right now, and it's just, I don't know.
Well, no, and so again, like I said, it is, the offense was James-centric, but like I said, the roster was built to be James-centric.
And it should have never went that
when
far.
James first got it shouldn't have. When James first came to the Rockets and he was moving off the ball, he was cutting, he wasn't the point guard. He was, playing off ball, he would cut, he would hit mid-rangers, he would show you variety in his game. And I think I showed you the clips of James Harden, like his first couple games with the Rockets. And you saw every bit of his offensive skill set. And it looked completely different than the James that you saw for the last 3 or 4 years with the Rockets.
AB, are you wearing a name tag on your shirt?
No. That's
okay.
Whatever. Hey, man, listen.
Is it a tag? It ain't a name tag, but is it a tag that could be?
It's not a name. It's
misconstrued as a name tag.
It's a symbol, man. It's a symbol. It's a symbol.
Okay.
But hey, man, listen. I don't even want to, like I said, I don't even want to make it about James. It's just the team is different. And again, when they made that trade, Jay, I pointed out Victor Oladipo, and you kind of snubbed him off. I've always been a fan of Victor Oladipo. He ain't James. He not a superstar. But if him, John Wall, and Christian Wood are all three playing at an all-star level, you got something.
No. Let me play devil's advocate. And when I was talking about Victor Oladipo, I'm looking at him like he's a $20-something million expiring deal. You're going to be faced with the proposition of overpaying him. He was sitting here talking about, hey, I wanted to go to Miami. And
I heard him say that.
No, he did. There was an article talking about where he was sour grapes that he just didn't end up in Miami. Yeah. And I'm like, well, has he already made up his mind he's leaving? But I've seen this turn around where somebody gets traded somewhere they didn't plan to go, wasn't in their plans, and then all of a sudden that city endeared the roster, fell in love with him. So we'll see.
From the interviews that I've seen since he came to the Rockets from day one from the trade, he sounded completely open to.
Well, he's a professional though. He's got some class and some etiquette. So he's a pro.
You cannot go into Houston and put up the same type of fuss that James Harden put up on his way out. You can't do that coming in. It won't work. It's like the argument of, hey, should Bradley Beal try to force his way out? Not right now. You better let some of that heat.
No. Let's get it. Bradley Beal needs to force his way out right now.
Yesterday.
Right now.
Yeah, but that's not my point. My point that I was trying to make is you can't come in there doing that, and this team just got done dealing with James Harden doing that. So it's gonna make you look bad. number one, everybody got tired of James Harden doing it, so you can't come in and do it. People are just they're just tired of it. So I think Victor Oladipo, if the Rockets do really well this year and actually make it to the playoffs and compete.
Oh, they're going to the playoffs.
He may look at it and be like, hey, this is like we're a bunch of ragtag group of individuals that just kind of came together and we made noise. I might stay here in Houston.
So Eric Gordon said something the other day, yesterday, the day before, that he said that this team gives him 2018 Rockets vibes. And that might sound crazy. Jason probably like, man, yeah, that 2000.
What did he mean by
crazy. That? What he means as far as the chemistry, the single-minded focus, right? So the Rockets is built around the team that right now of everyone that it has something to prove. They all been written off, whether it's John Wall, Boogie, Christian Wood several times.
Oladipo.
Right? Oladipo.
With an injury.
Jason Tate wasn't in the NBA, didn't get drafted. You know, Daniel House didn't get drafted. He had the bubble shenanigans. You can go down the list. And all of them are sitting in Nwaba. The mix is right. And when I say it's right, like you have two guys have been former All-Stars in Wall and Oladipo, who take all the pressure off Christian Wood. All Christian Wood got to do is go out there and be his natural, talented self.
Yeah.
And you got the rest of the team around it is doing the heavy lifting as far as the defense, the playmaking. It's a natural fit. I'm not going to go out there and get ahead of myself. I'm not saying it's a championship contender. But as far as
what do you see?
Where
would you place them in the playoffs? But where in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they're about to finish in the middle of the pack.
But how far will they go?
He's talking like fifth, sixth.
Yeah.
Sixth.
No, I'm saying how deep? How deep in the playoffs can they go?
They're gonna go as deep as seeing the Lakers and the Clippers and losing. So any other team outside of that, they could beat. And I would expect that if they played Utah, I think this team would spank Utah.
Ooh, that's another one. I forgot about Utah. Go ahead.
If they played Utah, I think they would spank Utah. If like the teams that are there, but they're in that mix, I think they could beat them. They could also lose to them, right? And I'm not gonna get beyond myself.
It's not a sure thing.
It's not a sure thing. But as far as making the playoffs and where they go, health assuming, right, that they don't lose John Wall or Oladipo or Christian Wood. Everybody else, they could probably stomach losing one of them, right? But they couldn't lose one of them three. So assuming health, they're a definite playoff team, probably in the middle of the pack. When I say middle, I don't think top three. So let's say 4 to 8, right? And I think that they could probably beat any team minus the Clippers and the Lakers. And the Clippers and Lakers, I think they just lose out because of experience and get.
They can't beat my boys, but
big.
I'll let you go with that.
Your boys got to make it. Your boys got to make it. And Golden State is Jay. I'm not trying to like blow y'all off.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Y'all are question mark right now.
Skip that. Let's just skip that.
Why,
I just don't
Jay,
like how you said that they.
Why you want to skip it?
No, because we got other topics to do. I'm hungry. I ain't ate. Man, we got this is an hour and a half, man. We next.
Hey, no, but I'm saying y'all are a question mark right now because
Jay just don't want to hear. He just don't want. You don't want to hear.
No, it's valid. We lost a game to Phoenix and the Knicks. But
I'm not even looking at that. I'm saying like what's going on with if y'all gonna do Oubre? Are you gonna bring in some? That's a question mark. And I expect Wiseman in 2 months or 3 months to be way better.
Boy, you sound like you singing like a robot.
Than Wiseman right now.
You need to check your internet connection, Aaron.
As far as his consistency,
he didn't even hear you.
Playing time, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's a separate conversation.
I keep going now.
Respect it or check it, Jay. These Rockets could beat your Golden State Warriors this year. Respect it or check it.
He's not gonna say that. If Jay said that,
I want to see how honest he gonna be about it. He's on the spot.
No, I think Aaron's closely describing where the Rockets are. I'll put them with the potential, and I didn't even watch the last 2 to 3 games, but I could see the box score and I can hear his vibe. And usually we're pretty simpatico. So, and based off of what I've seen, I'll put him in 6th, 7th seed, first round exit.
Okay. Depending on who they play.
Depending on who they
play.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams.
Utah, if they play, I'm telling you, if the Rockets face that Utah team,
that's a separate team, and we can dive right into that one right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Utah is the most fraudulent team at the top of the West, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Anthony Davis, Jokic, Serge Ibaka, even James Wiseman, Christian Wood, and when I rattle off these names, and we ain't even get to the East if it's Joel Embiid or Giannis, Rudy Gobert is a problem. This dude makes
in a negative way.
This is a defensive player of the year who is a defensive liability, and it sounds like an oxymoron.
That's crazy.
But when it's crazy, it is. But track with me here. What does Rudy Gobert do? He's a rim runner. He blocks the shots.
Yeah.
What happens when Jokic, case in point, just happened 72 hours ago, puts damn near a 50 burger on him, hit 4 for 4 on 3-pointers? How valuable is Rudy Gobert sitting in a corner on the 3-point line when he can't protect the rim? And then when he gets a 5-foot, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Rudy Gobert is a glorified Clint Capella.
He is, but you're paying him. The salary cap is $110 million, and he's getting paid over 30.
Yeah.
So when he's a star player, and then you're guaranteed, the reason I said those names, when you get to the second round of the playoffs, you're guaranteed to play Serge Ibaka, Anthony Davis, Jokic, and there's probably 2 or 3 others. Porzingis. I mean, pick one. He is not going to be allowed to hog the paint like he does all through the regular season and beating up on people.
Outside.
He's not going to be allowed to do that.
And Jay said it just from a big man perspective, right? So the reason why the Rockets have dominated Utah in the playoffs the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever we played them, right, is because when you get to take the salary out of it. I know where Jay is going with the salary, but even if you don't consider the salary, he is the linchpin of the defense, and he is crucial to everything they do, right? But when someone is crucial to everything that you do all year, when you get to the point to where you need them most and they're non-playable, that's the reason why we couldn't get over the Warriors, if you really want to be honest with it, right? Clint Capella was too crucial to what the Rockets need to do, and the Warriors matchup was bad from
kill 90% of the league, and then all of a sudden he's neutered, null and void. We are immune. That doesn't work. Come with something else.
Draymond is so smart of a defender, right? He's strong, so you ain't gonna bully. You're never gonna bully Draymond Green, right? And then he's so smart of a defender, and he's so quick and rangy, versatile, that he can go out there and defend on the perimeter and be capable and smart enough to get back and defend the lob. What do you do?
So let's not digress. We're talking about Rudy Gobert. Those points are valid just for the sake of tightening it up.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is they're fraudulent. They're sitting at the top of the one, and they're going to get exposed.
Yeah. Well, even Rudy Gobert is when you just talk about just a big man, Anthony Davis. Let's use Anthony Davis or Jokic, for instance. If they can bang the shot and bring him out, that's already a problem, right? But then what also when you have a guard or a perimeter player that can get you in the pick and roll and switch, Curry, right, Luka? Now you switch and he's on an island, and it's like you said, a defensive player of the year who's being literally targeted by the offense. What do you do? Jokic got a little bit of the same.
He does,
a lot of the same
but
issues.
at least he
but
does.
On offense, he's gonna give you a 30-point triple-double.
Exactly. And the reason I go back to the money is because when you build a roster and you have this point, everybody I talk to and people who are salary cap nerds, they don't convey the problem the way it needs to be. And it's when you spend $110 million on a roster and you have to fill out 15 spots, you can't spend $30-something million on somebody like Gobert. And when you have to switch it all the way upside down in the playoffs, now you got $70 million for 14 other people. The pie, the math don't work. The most you can pay a player with Rudy Gobert's skill set is 15 to 20 million. And you have to be comfortable with only playing him 20 minutes. This ain't your game player. This ain't your series. They've made an adjustment. You're sitting over here in the corner.
I got two other examples real quick on that. Think about the Rockets with Russell Westbrook, right? And or Ben Simmons with Philly. You know, when you're that important to your team and everything that you do, and you get to the playoffs and the defense said, we're just not going to guard Russell Westbrook in the paint. Outside the paint.
Yeah.
You have all the shots that you want, wide open threes, whatever. You're just going to pack the paint when you have the ball.
And then he missed 3 in a row, and he's all in his head. He's all in his head. Can't buy a bucket. Whole offensive system. I don't care if it's Rick Carlisle, Steve Kerr, and all the greatest minds.
Everything going.
Can't help you. $45 million is in Russell Westbrook, and he's in his head, and he can't hit a bucket to save his life. Although he did
go off last
48
night.
hours the other day. 48 hours ago.
That actually was one of the most exciting games that I've seen in the NBA in a while, as far as the finish of it goes.
Yeah.
Because they were like down the whole game.
Yeah.
It literally to the last couple of seconds.
After you said it, I was
Marcus
like,
was real time updating it.
I was like,
because you vouched for it so hard, I made it a point to stop what I was doing and go catch up. And it was funny because I knew nothing about nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I just know normal Russell Westbrook flow.
Yeah.
So when he missed that second to last 3-pointer,
but I didn't even tell y'all when I said it. I didn't even say who was involved. You just had to go back and watch.
But when you look at it, right? Because I was like looking at the games and I was like, this is a boring Sunday. I'm just not even going to watch basketball. And I was like, this is going to be a blowout over here in Brooklyn and Washington. And it was all stereotypical leading up the way that it should. And then I was like, there's some beef going on over here. I knew Russell Westbrook was going to be fired up.
I knew he was coming.
Yeah. But what was surprising for me is that after Bradley Beal, and he did typical, stereotypical Russell Westbrook, I'm just going to shoot this shot. I don't give a damn. Mm-hmm. Bradley Beal should be taking the shot, whatever, and he missed it. And I was just checking out like it was over, right? And I was like, this pleasant surprise over here. Steal, kick it out to Russ, for the game winner, banger.
But wasn't it fitting that Bradley Beal hit the shot to I think put them
to put him in it, to give him
like within 2, and then Russ came behind him and hit the next shot to put him up. It was just fitting.
He didn't even hesitate on the steal
over the team that his teammates played for, Kevin Durant and James Harden. Even though James Harden wasn't playing that night, it was exciting. It was a good game.
And
Side note. DraftKings should let you fill the roster. If I don't fill up all them slots, I shouldn't have to. Because I tried every which way yesterday to get all 4 of them. I wanted KD, Kyrie, Bill, and Russ. I didn't need nobody else. I don't need anybody else. I don't need the other slots.
Bro.
I knew they were going hand.
Brooklyn has the worst of it because normally it's the defending champion that gets the best of everybody's night. And they are top heavy as all hell, and they're the Heatles, they're the Warriors, they're all these Hollywood teams, but they ain't got no championship, and their roster spots between 4 and 8 are weak. So when somebody's out, Trouble.
Well, people are trying to measure themselves against the high scoring team.
Of course.
And we talk about no defense, and who's the coach or who's on the squad?
Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni, because he don't have no D.
Why are they linked to JJ Redick? This is the stuff that I talk about. Why? If I was a general manager, I'd be out there and be like, no, we're not interested. Don't even associate that. Like, clearly, first of all, you already have Joe Harris, who might be, he in a discussion as the best shooters in the league. So
Joe Harris was giving it to him.
And you got Shamet. He was serviceable.
Everybody on the team can shoot threes, Jay, except DeAndre Jordan. The whole team can shoot. So, like, that, and he ain't a defender. Like, they need rebounding and defense. JJ Redick don't help with any of that. Why? And he wouldn't even play. He ain't playing in New Orleans, and he wouldn't play for Brooklyn.
He could play for the Warriors.
Again, look who's
the Mavericks.
Look who's the coaches: Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash.
Antony.
All offense. Yeah, he don't have no D.
Bro.
Look. I mean, if I could see them piling that team up with just offensive scores, and praying that that's what's going to get them a championship. Again, when you go into the playoffs, you can't do it without defense. Defense wins championship.
It's funny, and again, I'm not. This is not intended to be a shot at James Harden, but it's ironic that since James Harden left the Rockets, they're the number one rated team in offense and defense.
Defense, yeah.
In the league,
during this time frame.
And Brooklyn is the worst rated defensive team. It ain't his fault. It ain't. What happened is that they gave up their core and their pieces, and the roster just not built to be a defensive roster. You never gonna look at Brooklyn. They put up 146.
Yeah. And
scoring is clearly not an issue.
Yeah.
Scoring clearly not an issue. Can't stop nobody. And when they do stop them, they can't get a rebound.
Thank you for watching the Hoopz Junkiez Podcast. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, if you want to check out a few more clips, make sure that you hit the bell notification so that you're alerted whenever we post a new video.